Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, May 23rd. So we have another full day of the moon in its place of power in this Cancer energy. So of course, the Cancer energy, we are seeking what is comfortable, what is old, tried, tested, and true, what is familiar. We are introverted. We have to go inward in order to sort through what's going on in our inner realm, where our thoughts, where our emotions are concerned, in order for us to try and center ourselves, ground ourselves here in this present moment. Now, of course, we're hypersensitive. We're a little bit cautious and defensive. And for the most part, the whole goal here today is to calm the overthinking, which is going to be very hard, seeing as we are in Gemini season, in order to actually get in alignment with our feelings first and foremost. So there are 10 different aspects here today. 8 of them are going to involve the moon. Right out of the gate, we have Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, squaring off with the planet of growth, Mr. Jupiter, who of course is here to push us out of our comfort zones. We have new opportunities that we have to create for ourselves. We have new circumstances we have to bring to life. We have new realities that we have to get working on. But here's the thing, as we spoke about in yesterday's forecast, Mars and Jupiter kind of bringing this tension together is going to mean that we are on the edge. We are all riled up on the inside, whether we are on the side of passion or anger. Again, reminder, the line between passion and anger is very thin. We have an overabundance of energy. We don't know what to do with it because, of course, we want to take action. We want to put it to use, but we're really not supported in doing that. At this particular point in time, we're supposed to be kind of marinating, percolating with the excitement, with the passion, with the desires that we're looking to take action on, but not necessarily take action upon them. This is going to mean that we are hot to trot, that we are super excited or restless or anxious or enthusiastic, depending on how you let the energy actually manifest inside of you. We're excited about, the opportunities, the prospects, the ideas, the possibilities, but we're biting off more than we can chew. It doesn't feel good to be in this kind of restless energy, this edginess, this, waiting for the ball to drop, so to speak. And so we do have to kind of manage our energy as well as possible, which is very hard to do with Mars being in a fire sign. We do have to manage our energy well. And if I could recommend kind of getting busy, cleaning, organizing your physical realm, putting things into order, that would be the best use of this energy. Of course, we have to give it an outlet or else we're just going to explode. So we do have to give it some kind of physical outlet. And because Jupiter is in Taurus energy, an earth sign, really focused on our physical realms, there's no better way to kind of get this energy out of our physical bodies than to clean up our environment, provide ourselves with a clean slate or taking action upon when we're gifted with the green light go ahead to actually do so. The moon then wants a little bit of a piece of Jupiter, but here's the thing, this is a much better vibe. This is a harmonious aspect compared to that tension, conflicting square that we just had between Mars and Jupiter. Emotionally speaking, we are grounding out. This is what, this Taurus and Cancer energy provides us an opportunity to do, to move in, to kind of, see where we're at with our emotions, and then to ground it out, anchor it in, be present in your physical body, really bring those emotions to the forefront of the here and now. And with that, we have an opportunity to grow through what it is that we're going through and really heal the parts of us that are being illuminated, that need a little bit more attention, need a little bit more safety, security. And of course, that Cancer energy is focused very much on that. And the Taurus energy that Jupiter is in is here to provide that earthly realm of safety, security, stability, comfort, happiness, and joy. Now, the moon goes ahead, makes a positive interaction with the true node, also in this Taurus energy. So this is our soul path, our destiny point. We're definitely putting the pieces together. It's amazing what happens when you get real and raw and vulnerable with yourself and you move inward and kind of identify what is working, what isn't working. Bring that energy, bring that emotion into the present moment, connecting to the 5 senses. It's amazing to see how we can see solutions just kind of present themselves. And this is a true indication that we are making progress in strategizing, calculating our actions, our moves, and moving forward. And we're actually feeling good about it, which is the most positive thing that we've been able to settle in for a very long time. Speaking of positivity, the moon in Cancer energy in its place of power is going to come up to bump into, team up with Venus, who of course is in this Cancer energy at the latter degrees. So this is really validating for us where it is that we do find the comfort, where we do find the familiarity, where we do kind of tap into a new level of feeling safe and secure. Maybe not overall, maybe not for a long time, but in the here and now. We are looking to what is old, tried, tested, and true. But here's the thing. We also, not that I want to get ahead of myself, we also have some aspects here today that are saying, okay, stand in your comfortability, stand where you feel secure, stand where you feel the most stable in your life, but be open to thinking about how to change things up, how to be progressive, how to actually push yourself into a path of evolution. We'll cover that in just a second. The moon in Cancer goes ahead semi-squares, which is a little bit of a tension point with the sun, who of course is shining a bright light in this Gemini energy, not only on the very pressurized mental plane of us processing new thoughts, new ideas, new choices, new decisions, but illuminating for us the options to actually move forward. Again, very dualistic and extreme in nature. Our goal is to kind of debate it out, to get off of the fence and either land on one side or the other. The moon in Cancer energy does have us very connected to holding on to what is old, tried, tested, and true, where it is that we're coming from, old version of self, old version of reality, while the sun is showing us, hey, you got to break away from that. And even more than, you having to muster up the courage and the bravery in order to make some spontaneous changes to totally rock your current circumstances. Not only is that the difficult part, but now look at all the options that you have on how to move forward. What we're left with is the overlap in the present moment, in the here and now, where we are seeing the dramatic pressurized system take over, showing us where it is that, yeah, we might be comfortable in continuing to do what it is that we're doing. Not that it is where we want to be, but it's predictable, versus the non-predictability of choosing a different path, a different direction, switching things up, doing things a little bit differently, and how it is that we're actually feeling in this present moment about some of the ideas that we're having, about letting go, about opening up our hands and receiving new blessings, new rewards, new opportunities. Now, things are going to get a little bit shaky here. The moon in Cancer is going to go ahead and get into the boxing ring with Chiron, that wounded healer. And this is going to illuminate the tension and the conflict on where it is that we're not so sure about making some of these changes, because guess what? We have no clue who we are right now. We have no clue what we're doing right now. The confusion is setting in. The instability is setting in. We are really just kind of questioning more than we are answering at this point. This puts us in a situation where we're a little bit defensive. We're a little bit edgy. We're hypersensitive. We're very emotional. Now, because we just had this illumination of the past and the attachments to the past and some of the elements that were kind of, being I'm not going to say forced, but pressurized to kind of change. This is really kind of rocking our worlds, not in a good way. We're not feeling so safe. We're not feeling so secure. We're not feeling so stable. And so here is the dark energies that come in and our egoic programming to kind of convince us to stay where we're at, paralyzed, in a state of non-action, non-growth, non-evolution. Of course, that's what the dark force energy wants, is for us to stay in this repetitive cycle of looping behaviors and thoughts, and therefore stay in our little box of comfortability so that we don't grow, we don't expand, we don't enlighten and illuminate ourselves. So here's where the change comes in. We're not sitting on that funk for very long. Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, in this Leo energy that is just rearing to go, ready to take action, ready to express oneself, ready to tap into that warrior spirit, to take some risks, to actually move on and be progressive in life, is going to make a harmonious aspect with Uranus, the great awakener, who of course is in this Taurus energy. The great awakener kind of downloads us with aha moments, with epiphanies, with a change in perspective, a change within ourselves. So what this is doing for us, this is the element that I spoke about a little bit earlier, you know, how we're trying to find this grounding point of what is tried, tested, and true. Well, that's great, except for the fact that we got Mars and Uranus here just shaking our inner realms up, shaking our mind space up, shaking our energetic fields up, showing us where it is that we have this want, need, and desire to create change, to be so freaking innovative and progressive with where it is that we want to go, that somehow we get an epiphany, we get an aha moment of a solution. It's easier to find the answers to our questions now than ever before. It's easier to download a vision, a dream, a goal than it ever has been before. And here's the thing, we need to recognize the detours, the obstacles, the challenges, the blockages, because that's how we focus on the problem and come up with a resolution. It is time to get down to the nitty-gritty on what the problem actually is and really kind of dive into our heart space, into our head space to figure out how to solve it, how to fix it, how to correct it. Adding even more emotional fuel to the fire, let's say we have the moon in Cancer sextiling with Uranus shortly after. This is kind of like okay, hold on to what it is that you feel is comfortable, what is familiar, where it is that you feel safe and secure. Emotionally speaking, stay in that spot. However, let's push the boundaries of our mind space to just contemplate what it would look like if you tried A, B, or C. If you push the boundaries of your comfort zone and you changed this particular circumstance, how would that reverberate? How would that change your life? How would that change your reality? It's time now to hold very, very strong in our heart space where it is that we're feeling grounded, what feels good, so that we feel like we're in control, but yet give ourselves permission to dabble outside of the physical circumstances that we've already created, to visualize what that would actually look like. What would that change look like? What would that alteration look like? What would correcting that problem look like? What would, creating a brand new circumstance look like? What would that look like? And once you get that visual, because again, Uranus is the highest form of our intellect, once you get that visual, drop it down into the heart space. See how you feel about it. There is going to be some resistance, because resistance to change is what the moon in Cancer is all about. However, if we are intellectually and emotionally activated, we are more apt to get in that alignment, to have our curiosity piqued, and therefore engage the physical body to take an action to experiment on what that would actually look like in our lives. And again, Gemini season, experimental time. Again, we're not really gifted the opportunity to take action as of yet, but we need to go through the process in our inner realm on what that would look like, what that would feel like, and whether or not we're in agreement with wanting to actually try that. Now, the moon is going to go ahead, make a very positive interaction with Mercury. This is our heart and our head getting on the same page. This is us coming up with a logical, practical plan on where it is that we can push the boundaries of our comfort zone, where it is that we can feel comfortable in experimenting with certain changes, certain alterations in our life. This is a beautiful vibe, a beautiful energy. We're starting to kind of, for once, feel like we're on the right page. We don't know what that page is called. We don't even know what book we're in. That's okay. But we're feeling in alignment. We're feeling this validation. We're feeling this confirmation within us that for the first time in a long time, our heart and head are actually in agreement on what it is that we want to do in moving forward. And of course, between Cancer and Taurus energy that the moon and Mercury in, you best believe it's going to be very, very slow change that we are willing to establish. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Cancer making a very interesting aspect with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who is in Pisces energy. This gives us some water on water action. Water on water action is emotional, it's intuitive, it's transformative, it's healing, it's purifying, it's cleansing. But we have to feel it in order to heal it. And what we're getting here is a little bit of a reality check. Yeah, Debbie Downer, negative Nancy, they could be knocking on the door of your mental plane, really wanting you to be paranoid and to be a little bit fearful and a little bit doubtful about some of the things that we just kind of opened our mind up to. However, this is about dismantling the old form of fear, the old form of belief, the old form of perspective and understanding in order for us to have a clean slate, a stronger foundation to build something new in its place. You cannot have a renovation of self. You cannot have a reorganization of your physical reality without having some kind of impact on the changing of your belief system. And when we're talking about belief system, this isn't just like, oh, I believe in God or I believe in deities. It's like, I believe that I can do this, or no, I don't believe that I can do this. Or my dreams are so strong. The calling that I have in my heart space to follow this new path is so strong that I have to do it. But I'm afraid of what other people are going to think of me. So therefore, I'm going to cool it on my own passions and desires in order to try and fit in. That is a limiting belief. Okay, it could even be as simple as, I don't believe that I can do 10 push-ups. And realistically, when you go ahead and you try it and you do 12, wow, you just broke the ceiling of that limiting belief. Okay, so when I say limiting beliefs, everybody's like, oh, you must be talking about religion or spirituality. No, we're talking about what you actually have created your realm based on the delusion of. You know, if you don't think that you can do something, guess what? You're right, you can't. Unless you try it and prove to yourself that you can do it, and therefore you break that ceiling, you break that structure of the limiting belief. So here we are really taking a good look at what it is that we're overly attached to, what we have fear and doubts and insecurities and actually changing. Mr. Saturn comes in and says, listen, you want to change, you prayed for it. It's going to require you to be a different version of yourself in order to be a vibratory match for the things that you're praying for. Therefore, you have to up your game, up your belief system, up your vibration and frequency. And all of that starts with the limiting beliefs that you tell yourself in that pretty little brain of yours.